I'm Marisol, and this is my superhero, Aggravate-me. It reflects aggressive behavior. Actually, it does what it does is that it takes aggressive behavior and transforms it into colorful growth with a soothing sound.
Hey, what are you doing?
It's based on this YouTube video about how to stop bullying. Made me think about how can we use technology to address bullying to replicate this behavior that was being recommended of being calm. I also saw these videos of like how to make these inflating sculptures. Made me think of maybe we can try to make people notice their behavior by looking as how something grows and then think about why this is growing. My decisions, technology wise, were first servo motors. I thought those were could be useful for fans. No, I changed into DC motors. I also thought of using pure data, and I realized it was going to take me too much, so I used processing instead. And I didn't use sentiment analysis as I thought at the beginning. I decided to use volume to make it respond. In terms of material decisions, I decided to use a very light material, which is plastic. I also had to decide to make it nicer, to cover it with some paper because it felt like it was too naked, and also to make some sort of like thing to put it on top of because it needed it so that the air could go through and expand and make this inflate. Well, in terms of the interactions that I had in mind, um, I have them all, the ones that I had thought of. They don't have the effect that I had thought of, though. So I wanted to have the rising, kind of like growing effect, and I wanted to have the lights around it as a way to communicate that there's something was happening besides the inflating, like some sort of like emotional, convey some sort of emotion. And I wanted to have the sound to be able to record the aggravating words, the aggravating speech that was happening, and then play it back, but in a different way. So I have those three interactions, and those are happening. But together, it's not necessarily conveying that it's reshaping aggressive behavior, or that's what I saw when I played this to my kids. They were more of like trying to insult it even more and trying to say horrible things to it so that I will react. So it was more of like showing me at that moment what type of negative behavior humans are able to achieve in a way. Um, so as a superhero, then it's a superhero that forces you to think about what's going on. And for instance, when I was with my family here, and we started to have like some sort of a raising our voice because we were not agreeing on something, and this thing was next to us. It started to do this thing, and that made us aware that something wasn't really going on, that wasn't right. So the interactions work not in the beautiful way that I had thought of, more of like in a calling attention to a certain situation, and which is it's still something.